Ron, Francesca Johansson is here to see you, but you have that appointment with Merrill Lynch in 5 minutes, Ron's assistant said into the loudspeaker. Cancel the Merrill appointment, he responded. They just came from across town. Miss Johansson came from 4,000 miles away. Moments later, Francesca entered, resplendent in a silky black dress. Francesca, what a pleasant surprise. Please, tell me your visit indicates that the women and children of Bolivia are safe, and so are their rights. She did not bother sitting down. Not yet, but maybe you can help me in that regard. Ron chuckled. I'm not sure about that. If 2,000 superpowered soldiers are having trouble, I doubt that one blowhard lawyer can turn the tide. That's not the kind of help I was looking for. We are making progress in Bolivia, but we'd be making more if Robert would listen to me more. We've got a problem with this General Marquez. What kind of problem? Francesca explained to Ron the problems with the general not accepting her demands on law and order and granting reduced punishment and even amnesty to soldiers who had committed crimes against women and children in return for switching to her side. She sees our instructions as optional, a view I can't broker. A view you can't broker, but Bob can. Is that the problem? I just thought you could talk some sense into him. I think I can do that. For now. But neither of us is going to be satisfied with just having the good doctor's ear. Not long term, anyway. Especially when others are starting to carry some weight with him. No, it's time to go beyond picking up the scraps from his table. What are you talking about? I'm talking about my taking over Notech, the CVs, and a hell of a lot of the world's wealth and power. Francesca stared in disbelief. Wait, are you joking? Ron shook his head. I was asking for a little help with a problem. Nothing like what you're talking about. You're crazy for thinking you can pull such a plan off, and you're crazy for telling me about it. What's to keep me from telling Robert? Francesca looked around as she finished speaking. There's no one behind you. I'm not worried about you telling anyone of my plans. Why not? What makes you trust me? I trust you the same as I trust anyone. I trust you to follow your own self-interests. How do you know what my self-interests are? I'm Notech's primary negotiator. It's my job to know things. Like, you are keeping this little meeting a secret from Bob, for example. Fair enough, but who's to say I'm only motivated by self-interest? Ron smiled but did not immediately respond. Dr. Harrington loves his Plato and Kierkegaard, but personally, I'm more of a Nietzsche fan. He laid out the truth, that every action is selfish and that altruism is an odd type of masochism. After all, we can never actually experience life as anyone but ourselves. Yes, but he said we can be selfishly noble, and we can make ourselves feel good by helping others. Noble? Is that what Bob's quest is? He certainly hasn't done it for the accolades. He's avoided publicity as much as possible. And so the martyr gets to pat himself on the back all the harder, Ron said. You expect me to betray a man who's justifiably proud of doing right for a greedy traitor like you? Francesca replied. Yes. For one thing, because you want what's best for the world. And Dr. Roberts' mission isn't what's best for it? Francesca asked. Ron did not answer the question directly. A quest to save the world using kids with jacked-up chromosomes? Every scenario leads to disaster. And under all those scenarios, he takes me down with him, to jail or death. All but one, that is. Francesca thought for a moment. All but the scenario where you're the one controlling how the mission goes haywire, she finally responded. Ron nodded. Just who betrayed whom first? He asked rhetorically. You have a point, Francesca acknowledged. Ron shrugged. I'm not the most moral man, but I am a practical man, and that is the better way to be. After all, what is goodness but selfishness with a long-term view? You see no goodness in Dr. Harrington? Idealists who want to shape the world to fit their vision have a pretty bad track record in history. Hitler, Lenin, the Founding Fathers? Francesca interjected. Hardly, Ron scoffed. Our founders, more than anyone, didn't want any one person to have the power to dominate our country. regardless of how benevolent he saw himself. Why else would they have designed a government guaranteed to end up in gridlock 90% of the time? Look at Alexander Hamilton, the man who set up our financial system, the most successful in the history of the world. He designed the entire framework of our economy so that self-interest would be its driving force. No. The Founding Fathers were the ultimate pragmatists. But what about the good Robert has done? It will continue. That's my whole point. Are you worried about Notech's medical advances being halted? They will be my greatest revenue stream. Are you worried about me doing harm to this country? It will be my top market. What about getting medications to the poor? What about the protection he has provided? Ron paused. Those who can pay for our medications will pay. Those who can't will get their governments to pay for them. And those same governments will pay dearly not to get involved in the world's hotspots. They'll pay dearly for medicine or intervention once widespread tragedy or atrocities have occurred, you mean? Francesca replied. It might take the deaths of thousands or even millions before they pay the price you want. That's some god-awful blackmail. Ron tisked. Every negotiation consists of two or more parties trying to blackmail each other. In polite company, we call it leverage, Ron replied. Francesca sat silent. Believe me, it's better if I win, Ron said in a soft voice. Compassion fatigues. Ideals corrupt. But self-interest never wanes, never degrades. So you would have me live as a criminal? Ron smirked. Do you know how you can tell if someone is a bad criminal? He paused. If they are publicly known as a criminal. The best criminals don't run and hide from the system. They are the system. They get to decide who is and isn't a criminal. That's how it'll be with us. So what do you offer me? Francesca finally replied. The chance to rule by your side instead of Dr. Harrington's? Ron shook his head emphatically. Rule the world? Why? So I can get grief about how old hags will pay for their prescriptions? No. I want to live above the law, not to create it. I want to dictate when it benefits me. Otherwise, I want to be left alone so I can spend my billions. I offer you a measure of the same money and power I will have, along with freedom from the problems they usually bring. Or you can use them to treat your pet causes. He made you what you are today, Francesca said after some thought. And I him, Ron replied without hesitation. I took him from being a kid who got picked last in gym class to being the most powerful man in the world. And now he thinks he'll have me at his beck and call for life because he's handy with test tubes? He's in for a surprise. What do you have planned for him? I think a chairman emeritus role would suit Bob well. Eventually, he'll think so himself. You'll see. This is all neither here nor there, Francesca said. What chance do you have against him? Just one of the CVs could kill you in his sleep, and add to that the scientific knowledge you don't have. Ron paused. Do you really think power has anything to do with how powerful you are, personally? With your body? Mao Zedong once said that power comes from the barrel of a gun. What did he mean exactly? This statement was coming from a frumpy middle-aged man. Just one of his millions of soldiers could have shot or beaten him to death. He invented none of the weapons his army used. And yet, he took over and ruled the largest country on Earth, killing 50 million people in the process. How? By using his gun? No. By controlling the millions of men who wielded guns in his name. It is the man who can see and manipulate the big picture who has real power. Power enough to keep Joel from interfering? Francesca asked. Don't forget what he can do. Ron nodded. That kid can change the fabric of reality itself, but in the end, he will be nothing more than a treasure trove of secrets to be plundered. What is it you have planned, specifically? We derive no benefit from you knowing specifics. Does that mean you have no specifics? Francesca asked. Ron smiled. You will soon get a taste of what I can do already. And I'm just getting warmed up. So what do I do? You will help me save Bob from himself. After all, if you get people killed in the name of a good cause that can't succeed, then it was never a good cause in the first place. What would you have me do, for starters? For starters, you will help me get rid of that thorn in our side, Marquez. That shouldn't be too much of a burden for you. And then what? And then you can send in my lunch date. Demetrius has come back for some home cooking.